Uranus as a planet is already problematic, but then when you name it Mission to Uranus, I don't know how anyone can keep a straight face. Is Bond gonna creep into every single watch reaction video? Let's see if we can keep it going. It's 23 years old and it still looks as classy and as elegant today. I mean, that's what you get when you buy a classic design like that. It just doesn't age, it just stays pure class forever, doesn't it?
Tissot PRX quartz version.
Oh, wow.
My family in Switzerland, so...
Looks good on you. Look at that dial, that's crazy. It's like as if Gerald Genter had moved to Japan and started designing for Seiko. It's nuts. I like it. I like it. Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. Today, you are the star of the show. Instead of some vacuous celebrity with too much money and not enough good taste, we actually look at your collections and what you're collecting. Personally, I find that much more interesting. And there are 5 rules. Let me just go through them very, very quickly, so make sure that you get your submissions in. Number 1, always landscape, landscape, landscape. Number 2, 7 minutes or less. The shorter, the better. There's more chance of getting picked. If your collection is gargantuan, then just select your top 3 or the most worn or 5 or even just one watch you want to talk about. Number 3, white gloves are preferable. You can buy them in the Urban Gentry store, which reminds me there's some great Hugo Mountbatten merchandise also available in the Teespring. I'll leave a link to that as well. By the way, it's that time of year, you might as well. Oh, and also there's some really great gifts, little stocking stuffers and stuff like that, Gentry related stuff. Rule number 4, MP4 MOV format, 4K if possible. Email will be in the description. And number 5, state your name and location. If you want to remain private, that's absolutely fine. You can use your initials like me, TGV. Alternatively, if your name is, I don't know, for example, Albert Einstein, you can just refer to yourself as Albert or Albert E or whatever works for you. So always include that. Right, I'll do a quick wristwatch check wearing the Panerai. Of course, I don't really wear much else these days. On the waffle, that's the Wrist Candy Watch Club. Marriage made in heaven. Okay, first of all, we have Will G here. Let's have a look.
Evening, TGV and the rest of the good gentry.
Good evening.
I'm Will, and I'm an 18-year-old watch collector from Atlanta, Georgia that's just been starting out collecting for, about 6 months or so.
18 years old. Very inspiring. I'm so pleased to hear a younger generation of gentry out there. That is fantastic.
In one of your earlier videos, you mentioned something about a watch and a watch collection needing to be age-appropriate for the person that owns it. And that's something that I agree a lot with, so that's kind of the philosophy that I've taken in putting this kind of early starter watch collection together as someone who is a university student and doesn't have a lot of money around. So yeah, I'll just be taking it.
Well, good for you. And in case I forget, good luck and congratulations, obviously, for getting into university. That is fantastic. And that is a great point. I totally forgot I said that, to be honest, but I'm sure I did. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, it should be age appropriate. Let's have a look at what you've got.
Here we have the Timex Expedition. This is just a great little watch. It's quartz, it's
top.
easy. You can beat it up, take it anywhere. I really like the field watch aesthetic mixed with these little stylish embellishments like the yellow seconds hand and the date wheel. It makes for a nice kind of synthesis of design ideas. The strap's fun.
I've never noticed that, how they've tucked the date so neatly as if it's one of the inner 24-hour military markings. Excellent point. Well observed.
It's just so easy to wear and a great watch.
Yep.
Here we have my first automatic piece of the collection, my Invicta Pro Diver on a Bond No Time to Die strap for a little bit of added character.
Is Bond gonna creep into every single watch reaction video? Let's see if we can keep it going. I can see the date change is about to happen.
I love this watch. It's such good value for
Yes.
what you pay for it. It
Yes.
feels of quality. It feels durable. When you wind it, when you set the date, when you use the thing, it just feels tough, and you feel like you can take it anywhere.
It's a very good point. I've never thought about it. I've reviewed this watch, obviously, and I'm sure it's got the Seiko, blah, blah, blah. I'll put it on the screen. I should know this. I have reviewed it. So I paid like 99 bucks or 80 bucks or whatever for mine. I'm sure they're probably still around that price. What you get for that money in terms of robustness, that is a really good point. I never really thought of it like that. But yeah, it is very capable indeed.
And not worry about it. And it's just a great little watch. A great entry-level automatic watch, and just something that I get a lot of wear out. This might be my most worn watch of the whole collection. Here we have what might be considered maybe a bit of a controversial piece. This is a Parnis Datejust modeled after some, obscure Rolex model that I'm sure no one's ever heard of before. But in all seriousness, it is an homage watch. It's maybe some would say a bit on the nose in the homage category, but I really love it.
Yeah, you describe it beautifully. You should be reviewing watches, not me. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Parnis, but I'd rather see you wearing this than a fake watch, certainly. And it's the whole debate about homage. I've done it to death. You know my stance on it. But yeah, I'd prefer this than a fake watch indeed, and over a smartwatch.
I think that as long as you're upfront and honest with it, I think homage watches are fine, and they don't do any harm. I don't go around telling people this is a Datejust. I don't pretend it's a Rolex. I tell people it's a Parnis because that's what it is. And for what it is, I think it's a great watch. It's automatic.
Bravo.
It's got pretty good build quality, good quality stainless steel, sapphire crystal. Obviously, it borrows from that.
Sapphire crystal. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, I like your viewpoint. You're very mature for your age. I mean, I was still a child. I didn't think like this at all when I was your age. So you filled me with hope for the future. Fantastic. But no, your outlook is spot on. I only wish there are watch enthusiasts twice your age, 3 times your age, and they're just puerile, complaining, negative and hateful people, and yet here you are. It's fantastic. Good for you, man.
Obviously, it borrows from that Datejust design, which makes it just a very attractive piece, and it's something that I get a lot of enjoyment out of wearing. The bracelet's also very good for the price for a Chinese made watch. It's actually quite comfortable.
Yeah, it looks good.
So yeah, it's a pretty great watch. From one controversial watch to another, we have my Moon Swatch. This is the Mission to Uranus model.
I'm sorry, but I have to chuckle every time I hear the name of this watch. Uranus as a planet is already problematic, but then when you name it Mission to Uranus, I don't know how anyone can keep a straight face. But it's a beautiful watch. Love the blue. I love the blue. Yeah, it's cool. And you make a good point. Is the Moon Swatch the most controversial watch of all time? Legal controversial watch of all time? Probably.
Put on a rubber strap. This is actually this strap is made by a company called Barton that makes all their stuff in America, and it's really good stuff. So if you want to support some made in America stuff and you're looking for a strap, go to Barton.
I'll check them out. Thank you.
But yeah, I just really enjoyed this piece. I went abroad for the very first time this summer, and we were in London, and while I was in London, I knew that I wanted to buy a watch, and I wanted to buy something special that I couldn't just get anywhere else.
Wow.
So I found this watch boutique, and I bought this, and I don't really regret the purchase.
What a beautiful way to commemorate a trip, your first trip to London, no less, heavyweight city, and then you commemorate it with this. I mean, that's wonderful. There's nothing like a sentimental attachment to a watch that you look at it. I look at my Panerai and I think of Florence. So when you make those memories and connections, it's priceless. Anyway, sorry, I'm waffling on. Just terribly sorry.
The Moonswatch most definitely has some faults to it. There are criticisms that people kind of levy at it that are justified. But I think at the end of the day, it's a fun watch. It represents kind of a fun blend of...
That's what it's all about.
Cheap, stylish, playful, swatch design aesthetics combined with the idea of Omega and the Speedmaster and the history of it. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and it's a fun wear. Aha, Seiko.
Nice.
I had to have a
Top.
Seiko in the collection. I needed a dress watch, so obviously the Seiko tank was a good bet for me. I really do like this watch. The gold with the brown leather strap feels very timeless to me. I feel like I can wear this for the rest of my life and feel good about it. It's a great dress watch for the price. I really enjoy the proportions of it. I like that it's not too loud and glitzy, because that's really what I look for in a dress watch, is something kind of thin, understated, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the best dress watch in its price category. 2 hands, simple, elegant, classic. Obviously, it has that Cartier tank look, understated. Also, it flies under the cuff, like you said, and from a heritage brand. And it even has the little cabochon on the crown. Can't beat it. Can't beat it.
Yeah, just a little cheap quartz watch, and it does the trick, and it's great. And how could we forget the F91? This really is just a perfect watch. The design of it very much reminds me of kind of the old Apple design philosophy of making computing technology like art. Like, that's what I feel when I look at this watch. I feel like it's a work of art. Every design choice just feels so...
Beautifully put. Beautifully put. It takes me about a week to write something like that for a review. I love these observations. Spot on.
Intentional and thought out, and it's just such a perfect look, perfect functioning tool. It's just a great watch. So I had to have one. And yeah, that rounds out my collection. I think as a starter watch collection for someone in their late teens, I'm pretty happy with what I've put together, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of what I have here. As far as grow watches for me go, I don't have a lot on my plate right now because, like I said, I am fairly satisfied with what we have.
Don't blame me.
Although I will say, lately I've been really enjoying the new Timex Q that got released maybe a year or two ago, that 1970s model. I might get one of those because those are very, very fun and classic and playful looking. So that might be on the horizon, who knows. But yeah, that's my watch collection.
Beautiful, yeah. And you know what? The best of luck to you. And I think if you hang in there, I have a suggestion for you. When you graduate, maybe you got your first job, you should save up, replace that harness with a real date just, keep the rest of the collection. What more could you want? And maybe add the Timex that you speak of. This really fills me with hope for the future. I only wish more, I was about to say kids your age, I'm feeling old now, but I wish more kids your age were like this. Thank you so much for that submission. Okay, moving on. Oh, look at this. Ton of books. I like this already. This is RFB. Let's have a look.
Hey TGV, it's Josh here at Red Fury
Hey
Books.
Josh.
You can tell by my channel name as well as the setup that I talk about books on YouTube.
Oh,
I'm really
nice.
excited to talk about 3 watches in my watch collection today that I'm pretty sure that you're going to love. I've been a watch enthusiast for about 10 years. My collection is normally 8 to 10 pieces, and there's 3 that I want to highlight for you today. But first, wristwatch check. I'm wearing my Grand Seiko Snowflake, which is my grail. I love this watch. If for some reason I had to sell everything and keep just one, this would be the one. But that's not one of the 3 I want to share with you today. So the first watch I'm going to show you is very similar to the Grand Seiko Snowflake, and that is the SARX 035. This is a JDM model of a watch in the Presage line that's very similar in its kind of design DNA as what you see in the Snowflake.
He's got B-roll and everything. You can tell this guy's a YouTuber. This looks a bit like the Saab, but it's got a kind of a sunburst dial. Is this the new Saab? And he said JDM. Seiko, why? They're always keeping the best stuff for themselves.
Presage line that's very similar in its kind of design DNA as what you see in the Snowflake.
Yeah.
Has the same sword hands, the same hour markers. Slightly bigger at 40.8 millimeters. Of course, it's not titanium. It doesn't have that beautiful sweep of the spring drive movement, but it does have a 6R15 automatic movement. And truly, this is the watch that made me fall in love with watch collecting.
Not surprised.
The second watch is the newest one in my collection, and it's a new release by Seiko. Yes, another Seiko. Seiko is my favorite watch brand. This
Good
is
for
a
you.
watch that was released in June. And I was actually in Japan at the end of June, and I wanted to buy a watch to commemorate the trip. Unfortunately, a Grand Seiko wasn't in the budget for the trip, but I went to the boutique anyway in Tokyo, and I found this watch just jumped out of the display case at me. And this is the Seiko Astron. And it's
Whoa.
titanium radio movement. It's 39.6 millimeters. Its model number is
Wait, hold on a moment. Look at this. This is
SBX-Y061, and you
nuts.
can't...
Look at that dial. That's crazy. It's like as if Gerald Genter had moved to Japan and started designing for Seiko. It's nuts. I like it. I like it. That dial, it makes me think of like RoboCop. Yeah, there's something very Verhoeven even about that. I don't know why.
And you can't find these in the States yet. So I don't know if this is a Japanese domestic model or it just has not been released internationally yet.
I think so.
But it being titanium, it's very, very light. I was not looking for a Genta-inspired watch, but this dial just mesmerized me. And I just knew I had to have it as soon as I saw it on my wrist. It's perfect size for my wrist. And the radio movement is very, very cool. I don't have any quartz in my collection unless you consider my Garmin running watch part of my collection. And when I got back into the United States and I saw the watch reset itself to my new time zone, I said, oh, this one's a keeper. All right, the final watch I'm going to show you is my Omega Seamaster. Well, I have two.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. That dial. Did you see those flashes of like rainbow metallic? Almost reminds me of like mother of pearl almost, but in a metallic sci-fi. That's crazy. I've never seen anything like that. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not going to show you this one. You know this one very, very well, the Seamaster Professional. But I want to show you this one. This is the bit of vintage in my collection. This is the Omega Seamaster 166.067 from the 1960s. It's got a 35 millimeter case, 565 automatic.
Right, 565. 565. Automatic. I think that's one of the earliest, the date. There's something special about the date. Anyway, let's see what he has to say.
Movement. And the notable thing about this movement, it was one of the first watches that had the quick date change. And this I wore on a variety of straps. Right now it's just on a simple black leather strap because I wore this with a suit recently. And you can guarantee when I'm wearing a business suit that this is the watch that I tend to grab from my collection. Of all the watches in my collection, this is not the most expensive, but this is the one that gives me the most comments and people ask me to see this watch. Just shows that those smaller watches, universal design, class personified. Well, I hope you enjoyed those three watches in my collection. If you want to talk about books anytime, let me know. I'd love to talk about Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah!
I haven't read it yet, but maybe you'll convince me to finally.
You should.
Until next time, goodbye.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you, sir. I mean, what a professional video. Short to the point. You totally get a glimpse of what he's about. Absolute pure class. Loved it. Thank you. Thank you. Be nice to see what you're considering next. Here we go. Yeah, I'd like to see the rest of the collection. Anyway, let's go on. Next.
Hello TGV and hello viewers. My name is Martin, I'm from Poland, and this is my watch collection.
Poland, very cool.
Before we start, let's make a quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing Casio DW.
Please.
This is my recent buy,
Oh,
and I really like this
top.
watch. As you can see, I am a big fan of Longines, but I used to own a lot of different watches from other companies. But at this moment, I'm really satisfied with my watch collection, and actually I'm not planning to buy anything new. I would rather save money for a great watch, which at this moment is Omega Aquaterra with chronograph.
Hang in there, my friend. I like. Yeah, this is a disciplined guy here.
Okay, let's take a look for the first one. Longines Hydro Conquest with ceramic bezel, 41 millimeters, and rubber band. I used to wear it on the bracelet also, and I really like it. For me, it's a really cool model, and I also like the previous version with aluminum bezel. For me, very nice and comfortable watch.
It's very legible, isn't it? I forget how it does exactly what it's supposed to do, doesn't it? And they do their case backs nice. I love the numerals as well. It's very cool. Love to see a loom shot of that, actually.
Next one, Longines Evidenza. In my opinion, one of the best.
Oh, Evidenza!
But I'm afraid they will discontinue this
Caspita, guarda
model.
questo.
This watch is very beautiful. I love the shape. The dial is amazing, and the watch comes with a lot of different complications like multi, chronograph. But this one comes with a small second and date. I wear it on a leather strap.
Beautiful. Didn't Mads Mikkelsen wear an Evidenza in Casino Royale? Was that just wishful thinking? I'm pretty sure, right? Let me know in the comments. But this is gorgeous. I mean, the shape of it reminds me of like 1930s Art Deco roadsters, you know? Oh my God. Look at that dial. Love it. Tonneau case. It's beautiful. That's beautiful. Is that a Dolce Vita I spot over there? Let's have a look at the Dolce Vita. Come on. Let's see that.
And last one, Longines Dolce Vita.
Oh,
I really like
nice
it.
top.
I wear it a lot. It's one of my favorite Longines, and I think I will never sell it because it's really hard to find. And this is quite vintage. It's 23 years old, and for me it's very comfortable and nice. Sometimes I wear it on the lizard strap, and it looks really nice.
It's 23 years old and it still looks as classy and as elegant today. I mean, that's what you get when you buy a classic design like that. It just doesn't age, it just stays pure class forever, doesn't it? Shame Longines discontinued the Evidenza like that, you know? Real shame. But dress watches, everyone wants divers, you know? They're not as popular, oh well.
And that's all. Thank you, TGV. It was a pleasure to take part in your video, and it's really interesting to see videos of other people. Thank you and bye bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Martin. What can I say? You have exceptionally good taste. Very classic. I love it. Yeah, I think we have time for one more. Let's have a look. Humble Prussian. Now I recognize this name. I've seen him in the comments, guys. Oh, and by the way, you know, I really appreciate when people in the comments, you know, they keep commenting and we build up a rapport. I don't have time to always reply to everybody, but I do notice it and I do appreciate it. Anyway, let's see what our friend the Humble Prussian has got for us. I already see a Meister singer there.
Hey TGV, long-time subscriber here, and I thought I would share some watches from my collection that you and your viewers may find interesting. By the way, I'm a dual citizen of Canada and Germany, and I'm currently in the Toronto area. I've had an interest in watches since I can remember, maybe 4 or 5 years old, when my parents would buy me things such as Goosebumps watch, Harry Potter watch, you know, novelties like that. So
Nice.
I guess I've been interested for a long time, and I collect not just watches, but old films, old books, vinyl records, and even video games.
Cool. I like it.
That being said, the first watch I want to show, maybe people won't find it so interesting.
Let's see.
It's strangely become one of my most worn watches, and that is the Timex Expedition, my beater watch.
Nice.
I don't know what it is. I love this watch. I wear it all the time. I guess maybe it's cheap enough I don't have to worry about it, but
I know what you mean. I have the same thing with that Mission Impossible watch. It's just so weird looking, but somehow, I don't know what it is.
I mean, look at that green glow on the dial. That just reminds me of the 90s for some reason.
Yeah, I was about to
Case
say the
looks
same
like
thing.
a bug or something, right? It's such an interesting looking case. It's thin, it's lightweight, and 100 meters of water resistance. It's got 2 time zones, so I'm Canadian. A couple clicks, and I'm in the German time. So yeah, and I recently hiked through the mountains of Switzerland with it, and
Oh wow.
of course bought some new pieces while I was there, and that brings me to my next watch.
Let's see what you
Which
got.
was a gift from my mother, the Tissot PRX quartz version.
Oh
I have
wow.
family in Switzerland, so
Looks good
My
on
mom
you.
came back from a visit and she surprised me with this watch, and I absolutely love it. I'm so grateful for it and for her. Every time I look at this watch, I think of her, and I always wanted a blue dial watch. Actually, I always wanted the blue sunburst dial of the Seiko 5 and kind of create a trifecta of my Seiko 5 collection.
Nice.
But the prices keep rising on them, and I haven't bit the bullet on that yet.
Interesting. That's nice. I like that one, yeah.
The next watch I want to show is my
Yes.
Mondaine train watch.
Oh, I'm not sure, but I think they might do the clocks in like stations, because I swear I've seen them in Switzerland. But anyway, yeah, it looks like one.
If you ever been on a train in Switzerland, you'd recognize this.
Oh, yeah.
The train stations have these big clocks at every stop.
Yes, there you go. There you go. He's put a picture in
They
there.
have the recognizable lollipop seconds hand.
Nice.
And Swiss trains are known for their punctuality, and the Swiss are a very orderly people. And when I learned there was a wristwatch version of this clock, I just had to have it. It reminds me of the mountains of Switzerland and just, you know, my time there, and just such good memories when I look at this watch.
Nice.
It's quite a thick watch.
Yeah.
It's the automatic version, and I still wear it though, and sometimes I'll just set it up on my desk as a desk clock.
Nice.
And, yeah, flooded with beautiful memories every time I look at it.
Nice.
My next watch I want to show is a German brand many of you should know, Meistersinger.
Yeah.
I had an interest in their watches
see it,
for
let's
some
see it.
time, and I saw this watch in the window of a little watch shop in the city of Chur, which is the oldest city in Switzerland. The mother of pearl dial drew me in. Here it is right here.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
It
top.
looks much nicer
Top,
in person,
top.
believe me.
Look at that. I was not aware they had a mother of pearl dial. So for those of you who don't know, they do single hand watches. Well, they do other things, but they're famous for their single hand watches. If you're a Wagner fan, you'll also like it because of the name. Deep cut, but it's a different way of telling time and reading time. But when you get used to it, it's a bit like the Cosmonaut, the Breitling Navitimer. Anyway, sorry, interrupting.
Just beautiful.
Look at that.
And,
Look at that.
very thin. I believe it's the thinnest watch they ever made. It has an open case back.
Oh, let's see it. Ooh, hello.
Anyway, I could show you my Laurier Neptune or my Citizen Solar, which I absolutely love them both, but I think I will show you this instead. Purchased before the company was sold to a large conglomerate, and that's my Stova Flieger 36 LE, limited to 100 pieces. This sunburst gray dial and small case size.
This is stunning. Look at that. So you got the unbranded version because you can customize them. Are those blue tans? But that dial, wow. It's a smaller size too. That's gorgeous.
Is the antithesis of a pilot watch. You know, pilot watches are supposed to be big and legible. It's as if they took a tool watch and made it into a piece of luxury jewelry, and I mean that in a good way, as for me, it's a celebration of German history, culture, and me being a German, I'm very proud to own this watch.
It's beautiful.
Only 100 of them made. This is number 41 of 100. Yeah, I absolutely
Stunning.
love this watch, and it brings me some very personal memories, which are a bit too personal to share. But and as for my next watch that I'm looking at purchasing, it's going to be probably the Zinn 556A. I've been looking at it for quite a while, and the prices keep rising on
The
it.
Zinn 556.
I'm also looking at the Sute Original, and I hope to own a Longines one day. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, TGV. You are a great inspiration for me, not just as a watch enthusiast, but for many other aspects of my life as well. So onwards and upwards. Cheers.
Onwards and upwards. Thank you so much. That's fantastic. Yeah, I could see you definitely with a Glashütte Original, and you know what? Another German brand. If you missed my video, I doubt you missed my video, but Hanhart. Do check out Hanhart. There'll definitely be something there you will like, because I just think they're my favorite German brand, obviously. Okay guys, so I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, your opinions, suggestions for grail possibilities for some of these collections. Don't forget to like this video, very important indeed if you want to see more free and independent content like this. I will catch you in the next one. Onwards and upwards. Thank you for watching. Ciao.